All right, thank you, Justin. And that's right, we're going to be live there on Wednesday, the whole show. It's going to be a big deal. We're going to give you details later in the show. But first, we're going to go over to Rochelle because she has been having fun over at the pool.
Yes, and you know, I always feel safer knowing that there is a lifeguard watching over me.
Oh, yes.
It's just that, like, you know, it's in your mind. So let's check in with Rochelle, who I know is on standby with a lifeguard at Goldfish Swim School in Okemos.
Hey guys, so we're still by the water. I'm staying on the outside, I'm staying dry. I'm gonna leave it to the professionals. And one of the people I have here today is Will. Will, happy International Lifeguard Appreciation Day. How are you today?
Thank you, I'm doing awesome.
Awesome, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Now, how long have you been a lifeguard?
I have been a lifeguard for around 6 months now.
For 6 months. Now, tell me, what's been the highlight? What are some of the things it is that you've learned while being in this position?
Well, one of the highlights is just that I get to have a job where I feel I can make a legitimate impact on the community, which I find very, very fulfilling. And a lot of things I've learned actually is that a lot of times when people are in trouble, it's not actually a big old scene. Sometimes they'll just slip in and it's like, oops, somebody fell in, when it's not super loud, so I gotta make sure I'm paying attention.
That's awesome. It's always great to have you, as well as all the staff that you have here at Goldfish Swim, standing by. But can you tell me what's inspired you to become a lifeguard?
Well, growing up, I always thought the lifeguards were super cool. And again, it's a job where I feel I can have a legitimate impact on my community. So I find it really fulfilling.
That's awesome. Now, you guys make it look cool, but clearly it is a whole lot of hard work. And one of the things that you were telling me is a safety technique. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, one of the safety techniques that you can do is when you're in the water and you feel you're in trouble, you can try to take a deep breath, bring your belly up, and float on your back. When you're floating on your back, that's a comfortable position you can stay in for a while you wait for assistance.
That's awesome. Now, as a lifeguard, let's say you were to see someone who you told me is a guest in distress, correct? Now, can you tell me about the technique one of the techniques that you would use to go and save them?
Right, so if we have a guest in distress or GID who needs help, one of the things I can do if they are conscious and facing me is I can do something called a front drive. So I will approach them with my big old tube. I will thrust it towards them and encourage them to grab onto it.
Okay. All right, so why don't you demonstrate that for our viewers at home, what a front drive technique is.
All right,
why don't you try that?
Whistle, jump in.
And guys, as you can see right now, we have PB. She's not in distress. She is another trained and certified lifeguard. So don't worry, she is okay, but we are just using her for the demonstration right now. All right, and now she is back to safety. Now tell me, what are some of those things? First of all, high five, Will. Now that's just one of the many techniques it is that you've learned. But tell me, what are some things that you would tell the guest in distress to do, or you would want them to do? And now I know in the middle of you drowning or you being in a situation, they may not be the first thing that comes to mind, but what are some of those things that you want people at home to know?
Well, for sure, make sure you make lots of noise, yell, make sure people know you're in trouble, and then once you are yelling, try to see if you can take a big breath, get on your back. If you can float on your back, you'll be much safer. And then third of all, see if there's anything near you, any sides or anything floating that you can get to for safety.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for teaching us a little bit about that. And you teach all of these techniques about floating on your back and treading water. You guys teach all of that here at Goldfish Swim, right?
Yes, we do.
That's awesome. All right, so we're going to get into more swim safety just in a little bit after this. But guys, we're going to keep on swimming and I'll send it back to you.